People of a great nation, I welcome you to the discussion segment of Development Focus with Jide Ojo on ITV this day, September 15, 2021. So soon, we are already in the middle, right in the middle of the month of September. So half of the Ember month is gone, and we are hoping that the 3.5 that is left will be favorable to us. Like I promised when we opened studio at 7, I did say that we'll be having two discussions. One is on a very nagging challenge that the country is facing, which is the problem of drug trafficking and drug abuse. And to do justice to that is no other than the director of media and advocacy with the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency. This old man, or the young man, whichever way you want to call him, is a pacesetter. A pacesetter in many ramifications. Being a veteran journalist is not even making a pacesetter, but is one person who has had the privilege of being the spokesperson for two law enforcement agencies in Nigeria. I don't know how he did it. Maybe he will tell us. Maybe he lobbied. Maybe it was his antecedents. But if you know Femi Babafemi well enough, some few years ago, he was actually the spokesperson, the director of media and publicity with the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. Today, he is sitting as director of media and advocacy with the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency. You're welcome, my brother.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
So how did it happen? How did it happen that you are the first Nigerian to be spokesperson for two law enforcement agencies in the country?
Well, I just think it's about passion, and it's about how God wants to direct an individual's path in life. When I was done in public service in 2012, and I went back to journalism to actually fulfill an aspiration, I never knew I'll still have another time coming back to public service, but then early this year, with the coming of General M.B. Marwa as the Chairman Chief Executive of the NDLA, he called again and that we needed to do this together, and here I find myself. So it's not in any way lobby or whatever. It's just if God directs that this is the path you go in life, and that is the way. And I also felt it's a national service. If you have the skills and you have the competence to do it, why not?
So you started journalism way back in 1997.
Absolutely.
With the National Concord,
Absolutely.
Now registered, and you are a pioneer staff of the Sun newspaper.
Absolutely.
What attracted you to journalism? Why not law? Why not any other profession where there is a lot of money?
Well, I think again, just like I said before, God directs, He leads, we just follow. I remember when I finished my first degree, I was directed to an uncle in there was this company then, PZ, to do my to do my national youth service
in
Lagos then, and that was a sure banker. So just a day before I went there to resume, I was called by another person to come to National Concord. So I just felt, let me just see how that place, how the office. When I actually got to PZ, I loved the environment, so I just wanted a corporate environment to work there. So, but then when I got into Concord, I just saw a more relaxed environment, and where people were free gisting and walking. So I just felt for that, and that was how I switched
Wow.
to National Concord, and that was it. So I had my national service there, and I was retained by the organization. So that was how I began my journey in journalism.
Interesting. Anyway, we are not here to talk about your journalism experience. But I always do this for all my guests to give us a bit of their background so that people get to know where they are coming from, their wealth of experience. So, you are a veteran journalist, but you are also corporate strategic communicator. In the last, you began your sojourn with NDLA in February of this year.
Yes.
In the last 7 months or thereabout, how has it been for you?
Well, it's been awesome. Like you said, during my years in EFCC, I thought I had seen it all. That is, I had seen enough of the problems of this country. But coming to NDLA again between January and now, wow, I felt, I think there is a more difficult problem, a more gargantuan problem that the nation needs to come together and confront. Otherwise, we may be forgotten as a people, because in a situation where you have almost 50 million people in a particular quagmire or abusing some illicit substances, going by the last the result of the last national survey, and the 15 million may just be even an average, because the World Drug Survey is saying we probably have about 20 million.
Wow.
And given that situation now, you can see what this problem is leading us into, another compounding the problem again with the level of insecurity or with the security challenges we have in the country. So that calls for serious concern. So, and coming to work with somebody, a patriotic Nigerian, and somebody that is very passionate about this country, I think we need to mobilize everybody, and fortunately we're getting positive response from the citizens. One of those responses anyway is exactly what you are doing with me here this morning, that is trying to bring this issue to national consciousness, so that when this is engraved in our consciousness, then we will all see the need to get involved at every level where we are.
So let's start from the basics. What is drug abuse?
Well, drug abuse is when you, just in the simplest form of it, when you take a drug or a substance exceeding the normal measure, or taking something, another substance that alters your mindset, that alters your frame, your being. That's in the simplest form. You can call that drug abuse.
So in a sense, I know people say when you take drug that is not prescribed for you, you are abusing that drug. Or you take excess.
Beyond measure.
Which is what you said.
Yes.
So people need to understand that drug abuse is not just narcotics.
No, it's not just about
it's not just hard drug. That even where you use drug that is not prescribed, people are to themselves now, pharmacists and doctors. They have a headache. The next thing is they go for paracetamol. We are
probably one of the, let me not say the only country, but probably one of the countries in the world where you go to the pharmacy and tell the pharmacist what you want.
Wrong with you and the drug that is
should not the other way around. so those are things that can come under drug abuse per se. But then in this case, in this context, we're primarily focusing on those taking drugs that are not meant to be consumed by anybody or taking it beyond the measure of
I've done a number of articles on I write from Punch newspaper, and I've done a number of articles.
Yes.
And
I can link it now. Oh,
this February 22nd was my last article on this drug abuse. Now, the point is, let's start from, you are the experts here, you are the specialists here. What different categories of drug do we have? From the basics to the hard one. I know today people talk of tramadol, codeine, and other stuff, but there are also, I think there are categories of drugs. Some I could not even pronounce because of the amitophylline or whatever. So five and because like what is narcotics? What is hard drug? What is
the world, the hard drug of a thing? There have been a lot of people are moving. There have been arguments about the use of hard drugs. So people tend to want to prefer that we use illicit drugs.
Okay.
So and when we talk about that, you have these are substances in layers. Talk of class A, class B.
Exactly what I want us to talk about now, for the benefit of our viewers.
Yeah, when you're talking of class A, you're talking of cocaine.
Okay.
Which is probably one of the most primed today. Then when you're talking of B, that is when you're talking of heroin. And,
so cocaine is class A. Which one is skunk?
Yes, skunk is just a variant of cannabis.
Oh, okay.
Yes, skunk, Colorado, Arizona.
Ecstasy. They call one ecstasy.
Yeah, those are pills.
Oh, okay.
Those are pills. Ecstasy. Yeah, those are pills commonly abused by.
Then I think they call one opioids.
Opioids. Yeah, the opioid is just a category of, where you have tramadol, all this kind of opioids. Yeah,
so now, Nigeria, we are told, has moved from being a transit country to becoming a consuming nation. But we are experiencing both simultaneously.
Absolutely.
Let me ask this. What's the magic wand that Brigadier General Buba Marwa retired brought to NDLA? So much so that the seizure per week is amazing. It was like there has never been. I compare his 7-8 months in office to what was experienced during Mrs. Dora Akinyele in NAFDAC. Because now it's like NDLA has been asleep and somebody has come to wake up the giant. That I'm amazed by what is reported in the news has been the seizures at our airports, seaports, everywhere. I think cumulatively it should be running to trillion of naira now.
We're just even trying to minimize what we give out so that we don't get a number of people traumatized. Because yes, my brother, because this thing should be, if we have to be giving them out daily, a lot of people will be bored, a lot of people will be traumatized. And that's why we should.
So is that bad?
Yeah, because the volume that had entered the country over the years, it's huge. And so it will take us a lot of time to be able to mop up all these things, these things. And even as we're mopping up those within circulating, we're also contending with the unconventional mixtures, the squishes. Yes, those are unconventional mixtures. People mixing tramadol with cannabis, then other substances, putting it in current called sobo. This local, putting it. So when you see some of them drinking this in the car park, I mean in the garages or in the comfort of their homes, and you think they are drinking something soft.
It's actually hard.
So
Yeah, in fact, I had one yesterday that now people are putting tom tom inside La Casera.
yeah, that's
then-
another. That's another one. Those are our unconventional local mixtures.
Wow.
So we have to contend with that. At the same time, we also have these people are also becoming more disingenuous by their level of desperation. And fortunately, unfortunately for them, they have somebody at the leadership of NDLA that would not want to take any chances. So as we're stepping up, whether at the land borders, at the airport, at the seaport, and that's why recently, just some few weeks ago, so about 3 weeks ago, you saw what some elements did by going to the Middle East, where is the base of ISIS, to go and build equipment, machines used for construction. Now, those machines were specifically built as to convey drugs.
Wow.
Yes, amphetamine, which it's usually called jihadist drug. This is a drug controlled, produced and circulated by ISIS, and they take it to make them brutal, ruthless, and go on for days without sleeping or getting tired.
Wow.
They also use it as a source of generating funds to fuel
In terrorism.
Yeah, and that coming into Nigeria, it's something that we should be grateful to God that the agency was able to intercept that at the seaport in Apapa, Lagos. Otherwise, the volume, something about 6 billion naira worth of illicit substance, if that had entered and gone through to locations where we have bandits, and just imagine what that would have done to the security challenges we are facing. Or if they had access to sell that, and they have their hands on 6 billion naira, just imagine what that volume of money could have also done to empower them with the resources they need to arm themselves to continue to
So
do what they are doing.
let's unpack this. Let's start from drug trafficking, because I think that was the initial fear that Nigeria is a transit country. It comes in from Guinea, pass through Nigeria down to Brazil and Southern America, find their way to Mexico, or vice versa.
Yeah.
Whichever way. But now, before we get to, because there are so many parts to this drug issue. One is drug trafficking, one is drug abuse locally.
Yeah.
There's also the element of terrorism financing, using drug money from drugs
to finance,
laundering it.
Yes.
So let's start with drug trafficking. How much success and what are the challenges you are having with trafficking in drugs, despite your achievements?
Oh, well, let me first say that going by our statistics, going by the statistics of from the activities of the agency between January and August, which I can speak about, that I may not be able to bring in September because that will not have been completed. But within the first 8 months of this year, I can tell you that in terms of trafficking, we've arrested over 8,600 people.
8,000?
Yeah.
As in, not 800, 8,000 people.
8,600.
In 8 months?
8,000, actually, to be specific, 8,632.
Arrests?
Yeah.
In 8 months of 2021?
Confirmed.
Hey.
And out of these, we have about 1,630 of them serving jail terms. About over 3,000 others, their cases are still ongoing in court. Then we also have about 4,269 cancelled and rehabilitated. We must make one point here that the work of the agency is not all about arresting and prosecuting. We also have a bit of responsibility to also ensure, especially in our drug demand reduction efforts, to also ensure that those that are taking it, we try to work along with other stakeholders to bring them out of it. Those that are yet to take it, to prevent them, to help them not to go into it. And those that had taken and had been rehabilitated, to also ensure that they don't fall back. So we have quite a number. They don't relapse. And
like the people you arrested last week in Abuja, where you went to shanties under the joint.
That's in Nasarawa. But because they border Abuja, so most of the residents in those places are Abuja people.
But I also watched a clip where I think within Abuja Township, in clearing some of the shanties.
Within it, absolutely within it. Yeah, of course, absolutely.
The arrests were made.
Absolutely, you have quite a number of these people that were arrested, and rather than, especially when we have just insignificant quantity with them, or when we profile them, we discover probably they are just starting, and rather than sending them to jail to go and compound their issue, some of them will sit them down, profile them, register them, and take them through counseling process.
Do you also get their biometrics?
Yeah, we get all their details. We get their details just to make sure that we don't compound their issues, and that's why we have the advocacy on this drug test for people. The whole essence is not, because quite a number of people that probably may want to come out, they are scared that if they do this thing, will they be handled? So we're saying no, that is not the whole essence of it. The essence of doing that is to dictate early enough so that the person, because we're saying that drug addiction is like any other ailment. So you shouldn't feel stigmatized, or you shouldn't be scared or worried to come out. So that, because the earlier you come out and get treated, the better. Because we have some cases where in most cases, quite a number of these people, even when they are treated, it's usually very difficult for them not to go back. So that is now talking about what we've been doing. Like I was saying, in our area of, we have majorly drug supply reduction, which is where we are arresting, seizing drugs, prosecuting, sending some to jail, and destroying the drugs. But in the area of drug demand reduction, that is where we raise a lot of advocacy to prevent, to let people know about the dangers inherent in this thing. And the chairman himself, General Mawa, is leading that campaign. That's why you would have seen us crisscrossing the country, meeting with state governors to get their buy-in, meeting with traditional rulers, local government chairmen, going to the communities, the grassroots, to meet with the people, to let them know, because you discover that quite a number of people get into this thing, they don't even know what they are getting into. It's only when the problems become entangled that they now realize, oh, I'm in here, and getting them out at that point becomes difficult. And
the commissioner has been accused of only arresting small fries, the couriers, that the barons, the barons who recruit these couriers have not been apprehended. How far is that?
No, I don't think people. Yeah, because mostly you see the burials are not as many as you have the couriers. Now that is why you see more of the faces of the couriers than the burials. But we've had quite a number of them also, the burials in. In fact, yesterday one was arraigned in Lagos. The one that was arrested in the premises of a church, because that particular person, he was sending about over 66 kilograms of cocaine, heroin, and cannabis, 3 different illicit substances to the UK.
Wow.
And you see, he used people to send this thing, but we didn't stop. Our first point of contact, that is why when we make the first arrest, we don't talk. It may take a week or 2 weeks before you see us making a statement on a particular arrest, because at the point of arrest, we want to be sure, where did this person get this drug from? Now, if we got that one, we move to the next level. Who is his own supplier? Until we build that case up to the whole essence is to trace that particular drug to the bearer. So it's a chain, and we follow the chain up until we get to the last person. And in that particular case I was telling you about, the person that was arrested, that was arraigned in Lagos yesterday at the Federal High Court, the person, after some days of when we seized the drug, we had to follow the trail. And at the point we were able to get to him, he vacated his house. We couldn't trace him, but fortunately, with the aid of technology, help of technology, we were able to put him under surveillance. And fortunately for us, he decided to come out of his hiding to for a Sunday church service, which
going for a church service at a drug bearer,
which was where we ambushed him.
How do people think? So you think church is a safe haven for him, or that he wants to come and I don't understand.
Maybe he needed to come and pray to God. Maybe he needed to thank God that he escaped the arrest. He was able to successfully vacate his house. Or maybe he needed to come and ask God for more protection against arrest. But then God is the God we serve is not that kind of God.
It's not a hypocritical God. Now, people, I've seen people, I don't know how far that's true. I need to cross-check that with you, who will say they thought they would be invincible at the port, that they would not see them with the drug, or even if they ingest the drug, there is a local charm that will prepare for them, that the machine will
not discover them.
How far is this true?
Now,
is it true that there is a local juju or charm? That
before I come to that, let me quickly mention one more point about when you talk about the bearers. You've had a council bus, a Lagos Island council bus.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yes,
Lagos, yes,
Lagos Island. Yeah, I don't want to mention it because he's presently facing a trial.
Okay.
Then you had one that was on the run for 10 years.
Wow.
We got him. So we have quite a number of them. It's
just is that not what one of the aides of no, I think that one is money laundering. One of the aides of the Ogun State governor.
No. This one was on the run for about 10 years, but eventually just soon after
10 years he was still apprehended.
Yeah, he was still apprehended. So that's how the law works. Now, coming to your question, there are quite a number of these people, and I feel sorry for the traffickers, the couriers, the foot soldiers, because a lot of them fall under this deception. They fall for this deception that they will somebody would have assured them that don't worry, nothing will happen to you. No, they won't discover you. Then you see, there are quite a number of planks to the operation. The operation of the agency is intelligence based. One, if you are coming from outside, or whether you are trying to take from here out there, we act on intelligence. That is somewhere along the line, because we have agents all over, even that I don't even know myself.
Paid agents that are on the payroll of
course,
the commission.
those that are undercover everywhere. So they know when you are processing or doing certain things. They will allow you and follow up until. So the day you are going to the airport, then you have somebody waiting there. But beyond that, again, that is on intelligence now. Beyond that, we work with technology, we work with sniffer dogs. I'm sure the Captagon, the jihadist drug that was discovered at the seaport in Lagos, that the intelligence about that particular drug was gotten as far back as March this year. Yeah.
Wow.
So we followed it all the way, all the routes. That consignment passed through 3-4 countries before it got to Nigeria.
How come they were not discovered in transit up until it landed there?
Because we had the intelligence. So
no, I mean those countries. How did they manage to get on board at the point of exit?
Well, there could have been a lot of things.
Yeah.
So
I understand, because there's corruption. There's corruption element to this.
Yeah, even at the point it was transloaded to hide the identity. Moved from this to another ship heading to Nigeria just to hide the identity of that. But unfortunately for them, we kept track and were able to wait for it. And when it got here, it was virtually everybody ruled it out that there can never be drug in this because they are equipment, machines. So still, if you watch the video we took of that thing, the drugs were hidden inside rotors, and so we had to get welding machines to cut it, to slit it open. And how did we know that the drugs were inside that rotor? It was because we brought in the sniffer dogs. The sniffer dogs had to go around all the equipment, the machine, and it was the sniffer dog that kept pointing to these rotors. When the sniffer dogs come around, backs or it lies down there, that means there's something in that particular equipment. So that is technology. Again, that's the work of the sniffer dog. Again, coming to technology, when you go through, again, based on intelligence or sometimes profiling, or some individuals that come from places you call source countries, where these drugs.
Can you mention some of those source countries for us?
Well, Brazil normally. Those countries in the
Brazil, Colombia,
all those
Mexico.
Even let's not go into that so that it doesn't appear as if we are stigmatizing any nation. Now there is the tendency to profile such when you look at, because we also know these people before they even left where they are, the country where they are. Before they arrive there, we already know they are coming. So such people, they go through the scanner, and when the machine dictates, especially for those that have swallowed, they believe the thing inside their tummy, nobody can see it if you touch my tummy. But unfortunately for them, technology has made it has made it possible.
So now you've told us how much of technical support do you get from the international community?
Oh, absolutely. Awesome. You would have seen that soon after General Marwa came on board in January, quite a number of foreign partners began to troop in. UNODC, the US government, the British government, the German government. At the moment, the German government is about building they have supported us greatly with the sniffer dogs in Lagos, canine session in Lagos, and at the moment they are about building a €2 million facility, dog facility for us in Lagos. So you see, these are all international support coming for the agency. That's in the area of technical support, equipment, the French government, quite a number of them out there, and also intelligence very key. Some of them training, some of our personnel, and
capacity building.
Yeah.
Let's touch briefly on issue of corruption. Somebody is exporting or bringing in drugs worth billions of naira. Usually they will want to influence your operatives.
Absolutely.
Say, come, let's do business. I'll give you 500 million. He knows that on retirement, he may not even get 5 million retirement benefits. How are you incentivizing your staff to be able to resist the temptation of getting corrupted?
Very key. Now, again, you would have also seen the reports in the media of quite a number of efforts being put in place by General Marwa since he came on board, and one of the cardinal things he had done was to motivate. That motivation, very key, because when he came, there were quite a number of issues about stagnation in one rank for years, for even decades, and that was the first thing he resolved. And I remember it's precisely 3,506 officers and men were promoted at a go.
Wow.
So that's enough to motivate the officers. Then two, those who had been owed some allowances for years also that were never paid, he went, spoke to the president, and the president was also magnanimous enough to grant him, and all that is offsetting pain gradually. That is also another incentive. Three, those some officers who died in active service, what the agency owed their beneficiaries or NOKs, widows that were not paid for years, he also tried to offset. This one he did it recently by paying. It was a public event where 188 families were paid their burial expenses that were owed to them for years. So these are some of the things. And then when you lead by example, this also is also very good. At the moment, it's the same. The officers doing the work now, the same officers had been there over the years. So it wasn't as if he brought in a different. So the output now shows that there is a motivated workforce. Okay. Shows people who are now determined. Then, because again, you can never take chances with human beings. So he had also tried to put in place structures that will monitor people and ensure that you don't compromise and you are not compromised.
That's very key. That's very important. So, motivator, what's the staff strength of NDLEA and what is your structure?
Yeah, when you talk of staff strength, I know we're sizable enough, but it's not something I can come.
Oh, okay. It's all right. For security reasons.
Yes. Okay. Then, at least you have an idea. Recently, about 5,000 persons, new candidates were taken in. They are currently going through training in our academy in Jos, so that should give you an idea.
Are those the ones you release a statement should come in December for something?
No, we're training them in batches.
Oh, okay.
Some people
narcotic assistants.
Narcotic assistants, okay. Yeah. The narcotic officers are in training. They'll probably be graduating towards the end of the year. Some narcotic assistants will be graduating at the end of this month. Those that were to go in after them, those are the people we are saying should come in December. So they are in batches. The agency is building. We have the capacity.
Now you are not only motivating the staff working for you. You are also recruiting fresh hands to
build up the workforce.
Build up the workforce. Yeah. That's very instructive. Now about issue of structure.
Yes.
How many offices do you have? You have state offices, local government?
We have structures. Talking of structures, we have offices across all the 36 states, including the FCT, and we also have what we call some special commands, that is the seaports, the airports. So we have, then in each state, we have area commands, like some local governments, but not in all the local government. But I can tell you, in all the states, and in each state at least, you have a minimum of 6 other commands, area commands, with a minimum within each state.
You can join us on this discussion. The number to call is 0809-987-1989. 0809-987-1989. It will be flashed on your screen. So, Mr. Babafemi.
Yes.
Let's look at this. Your departments, you talk about drug reduction campaign and all of that. How much of media support have you been able to elicit? And
honestly, I would say that has been phenomenal from our media partners, our friends in the media, because they are part of this society. And I must also appreciate you as an individual and ITV as an organization, because you are part of that movement. You really provided a very good platform to reach out to the people, to mobilize the people, for them to buy in and take ownership of this fight, because the moment that happens, then the job will be easier for the NDLEA to do. So what we are doing at the moment is moving around, reaching out to state governments, local governments, traditional rulers, faith-based organizations. We're meeting with the leadership of Christian Association of Nigeria across the states, wherever we visit. We're meeting with the leadership of Council of Ulamas.
Sorry, we have the first caller. Hello?
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Your name and where you are calling from, and please move away from your TV set.
My name is Friday. I'm calling from Papi.
Friday from Papi.
Friday.
Kende from Papi. Okay, what's your question, sir?
I thank God for what God is using these our people to do. But what I want you to beg them for, those people that used to sign in banners, or those on that bridge, smoking and without anything, I want to beg them to do something about it.
Okay, sir. Did you hear him?
No.
Those people who are under the bridges smoking weeds and all of that, what are you going to do about them?
Yeah.
Let's take this other. Okay, I think we've lost that. 1 minute, sir. Hello?
Yeah, hello, good morning.
Your name and where you are coming from. Please move away from your TV set or off it.
Yes. Permit me to remain anonymous.
Okay.
Yes, please. I want to find out something from the director there. We personally, I have some informations and all that about a lot of activities of these people. You know, is there a way, or maybe a contact, something you can use to give out such kind of information? Due to the nature of things I do, you get some of this, you see some of those people and you begin to wonder, how can we get these people out of the way? Is there maybe a contact, or maybe something you used to call them to kind of call to get across to them and give them those information?
Okay, thank you. It will respond to that. Maybe there is a short code, maybe there is a phone line or email address that people can reach you with, people who want to share intelligence with you.
Absolutely.
That's what he's talking about. So, thank you very much, the Anonymous. We appreciate you. We are part of this society. So, the number to call, I think we are taking, okay, another call is coming. I hope you are taking mental notes.
Very well.
Hello?
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, good morning. Your name and where you are calling from, please. Make it short and simple.
My name is Samuel John Monday, calling from Kabusa.
Samuel from Gariki.
Kabusa.
Kabusa. Samuel from Kabusa. Yes, what's your question or comment?
My question goes like this, sir. We are talking about this NDLA, about drugs, guys taking the drugs. Is it good for arresting people because this thing they are importing it from outside country to Nigeria? Hello?
I'm hearing you.
They are importing it from outside Nigeria.
It's not all drugs that are imported from outside Nigeria.
Hello?
There are some manufactured locally.
So some are manufactured locally, but they are selling. It's not like those guys are taking it. It's not them that are manufacturing it. They are selling it, and they want to market and buy it. What is the work of the NDLA? Taking the pharmacy, the type of the drug they are selling. So it's not like I don't see the part of people that they are taking it because if they don't fit buy, they won't take it.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
I'm not sure
Sorry, can you summarize your point? You said some drugs are being imported or what?
Well, those things are the way they're producing it.
Yes, the way they're producing it.
They're producing it in Nigeria, in local way. Some have NAFDAC number. Those drugs like Tramadol have NAFDAC number. Some have address where they are producing it, where they are selling it. And some of them want to market and buy it. It's not something that some of them manufacturing locally.
Okay, if I get your point right, it says some of those drugs that have been abused have NAFDAC number, and that like Tramadol.
That's why we're saying that people are also doing the unconventional mixtures here.
Okay.
That's what he's probably talking about. That's why we're not sparing them as well.
Okay, yeah. Sorry. Let's take this final call. Hello, your name and where you are calling from?
Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Yeah, my name is Osage. I'm calling from Lugbe Airport Road.
Okay, Osage from Lugbe Airport Road.
Yeah, thank you, Femi.
Thank you very much, sir.
You just mentioned one thing just now that you have told llamas and all that. Did you go to organizations, motor park, and approach them why drug is not good, or you go to those other places that yes, that drug is not good? Did you do that?
Absolutely.
Because you have told me as a person. Did I go tell the people around me to say, NDLA say, drug is not good? So that is the point I'm making.
Absolutely.
Like what Road Safety was doing some time ago. They go to churches and go to mosques to go and tell people, the driving code and all that. Did you do that?
Absolutely. If you watched us 2 weeks ago or thereabout, we were at different motor parks in Kano, where we had any state we go to, we visit the National Union of Road Transport Workers, we visit their secretariat, we visit, like in Kano about 2 weeks ago, where the one of the biggest parks for luxury buses, and also NATO, we visited them, we had conversations with them. Not only that, we also even go to...
Let me squeeze in this last one, sorry. Hello?
Hello, sir.
Yeah, very quickly, 30 seconds, please.
All right. I'm Farouk from Apple Resettlement.
Okay, Farouk from Apple Resettlement. What's your question, comment?
Thank you, sir. My question goes like this. This issue of NDLA drug is something that people discuss about. I'm very happy of it. But if they want to solve this problem of this drug abuse, they should work on the NDLA.
I didn't get that. Anyway, whatever it is.
Basically, I was trying to explain to the caller before the last one that we do go to parks, we go to churches, we go to mosques. I just mentioned earlier in our conversation that we'll be have any state we visit, we always have meetings with faith-based organizations, community-based organizations, traditional rulers, and every sector of the society. Then for the person who talked about how to pass information, you can do that through our social media handle. We get that's easier for people to...
What are your social media handles, sir?
That's NDLA_Nigeria That's Facebook, the same thing, Instagram.
Okay.
Those are the basic ones we have at the moment. Then even at the moment, we're also developing what we call National Call Center.
Exactly.
Yeah,
we're
developing that in partnership with some other stakeholders, where people can call in directly and get help, not just to pass information, but they can also get help.
Like those who want their children or family members to be rehabilitated.
Yes, because now we have people call, even the chairman himself. People will call him midnight, 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m. Those that had access to his number, they will call him to tell him, look, the husband of our daughter is chasing her around the house with knife and all those things. And we've had situations where the chairman had to send men to
so your last word, sir. Let me pick your brain on this. There was this argument with a state governor who wants cannabis to be legalized so that he can earn income. That if it is cultivated in a controlled environment and exported to country where it is legalized, that could serve some IGR for the state, that they can make some money out of it. You know what I'm talking about.
I do.
So what's your take on that?
Well, the position of the NDLA and the leadership of the agency has always been that we're not in that situation. I mean, we are not there yet. We can't do that now with our present situation, where we have 10.6 million Nigerians abusing that particular cannabis. So we can't take that risk. Otherwise, we'll probably have a country of junkies. So we don't want to do that. We don't want to get into that. Quite a number of factors. I wouldn't want to take your time.
So your final word as you leave. What do you want Nigerians to do to assist NDLA?
Our parting words will be that Nigerians should join hands, take ownership of this fight, see it as their fight. Not just about NDLA, not just about General Rara, not about President Buhari, but their own fight, because it's something that has to do with our life and the safety of this nation. So
thank you very much, Mr. Femi Babafemi. Sorry, we won't be able to take more call. We have an hour schedule for this segment, and we have another guest in the waiting. So if you have information you want to pass across, Mr. Femi Babafemi has said you can reach them on their social media handle, NDLA_official.
Nigeria.
NDLA_Nigeria on Facebook, NDLA_Nigeria on Instagram.
On Instagram, NDLA and at NDLA, that's at Facebook.
Yes.
The NDLA_Nigeria on Instagram.
Okay, NDLA at Facebook and NDLA_Nigeria at Instagram. At least these two, you can reach out to them. But as he has said, they are working with some telecommunication companies and partners to have a national call number, national call center. So let's just, and you can go physically to any of the NDLA offices. They will attend to you. There is always 6 area command minimum in every state. So in case you come across or you know someone working with NDLA, you can pass your information across to. That will be the size of this segment of Development Focus with Didi Ojo. In the nearest future, we are going to bring Mr. Babafemi back to discuss further on this. It's an ongoing challenge, and we must win this battle if we want to save Nigeria. Because most of the crime and criminality are induced by, junkies, hard drugs, by bandits and all of that. Anyway, thank you very much, and do enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you for
But
having me.
Viewers, please stay tuned as we discuss about the newly signed Petroleum Industry Act. We want to see matters arising from that. We'll be back in a bit.